Ramblin' Rusty here. I got a book here that I put poems in. Some poems I've written, some other my students have written, other poems I just like. I came across this one poem. It's entitled The Stream. This poem was written at Shenandoah Valley.Adventist Elementary School way back in 1994. Well, school year was just about finished. I had taught everything that I needed to teach that year. And so we took the students outside to a little stream of water. This water came from a well that the New Market town had drilled on this Shenandoah's property, and then they sold it to the New Market city. And we went out there and we cleaned up this stream. Let me read this poem to you. It says, "From deep in the ground flows a cool, clear water. It splashes on the cement, soaking everything close by, then collects itself to form a small stream. It was not happy. There were sticks, paper, glass, boards, and junk, along with vines, briars, grass, and bricks. It could not laugh and sing. One day, a group of young people decided to give their time and talents and energy to clean up the stream. They laughed and raked and pulled weeds and hauled trash, got muddy, built dams, got wet. The stream clouded up and then slowly began to flow clear. When the children left, their laughter was remembered and echoed in the sound of the cool, clear water flowing over the rocks and dams. We had a great time that day. One of the students I remembered was John Holland. I hope you enjoyed this. Ramblin' Rusty signing off for now. So long. Again, I want to thank John Henry at the John Henry General Store and Pastor Buzz Menhart at the Newmarket Seventh-day Adventist Church and Pastor Reed Richardi at the Newmarket Seventh-day Adventist Church and the Valley Fellowship Church for spearheading this and getting things going. There will be another sale in the very near future. Not a sale, a giveaway in the very near future. See you then. Ramblin' Rusty signing off for now. This sign says, founded in 1934 by Rosalie Edge. It is the world's first refuge for birds of prey. It had been a popular shooting site because of its location on the hawk migration corridor. And in 1929, bounty placed on northern goshawks throughout the work of the founder and early supporters, such as Richard Pugh, it became a raptor conservatory research, education, and training facility, and a hawk watching destination for bird and nature lovers globally. The last section of this vlog shows the inside of the main building there at the Hawk Mountain Sanctuary. It gives a little bit of the history of the whole mountain, and it shows a lot of pictures. And it's amazing that the main reason that it was started is to stop the carnage of the hawks and eagles flying over the mountain from being shot. I stopped by here after going up to the top and coming down. 74 years ago, I do not remember the trail. The trail was not really steep, but there was a lot of rocks on the trail that were very hard to walk over. They were ready to trip you up or catch your ankle and twist it. I was so glad I had my walking stick to help me to navigate that. So I did not fall. I did trip some, but I did not go all the way down. And it was a great time. Like I say, 74 years ago, when I was 16 years old, I don't remember the rough terrain. I don't think it's gotten any smoother since then. But anyway, we will see. I am so glad I went back. I could cross this off my bucket list if I had a bucket, but I think my bucket has a hole in it. And it was neat going back there after having been there before. And I enjoyed the hike up, even though my legs are still a little sore 2 days later. I hope that each one of you enjoyed this little vlog on Hawk Mountain. And so maybe you should take time to go up there and to observe the hawks flying over. There were number of hawks and bald eagles while I sat up there. This is Ramblin' Rusty, signing off for now. Before the turn of the century, much industrial activity took place here, excavation of sand for building purposes for glassware went on for many years. Originally, the sand was carted to the Dyersville by way of the road over which you have come. Later, perhaps around 1890, the area came to the hands of J.D. Stone Company. The company built a track on the north side of the mountain called the Slide. Cars were located in the hall at the right, push through the cut to your left to a level area at the head of the tracks where a huge drum with steel cables stood. A blacksmith shop stood nearby. 74 years ago, when I was 16, I went to Shenandoah Valley Academy. And every year in September, they would take a group from the academy and we would travel up to Hawk Mountain for the weekend. We would leave Friday and get there in time to set up camp. We camped out. There were both boys and girls there. And we would camp out, and then we would Sabbath. We spend all day Sabbath up on the top of the mountains. And I don't remember anything about the hike going up there. But now, 74 years later, that I'm 80, the hike was not really steep, but it was strewn with rocks. These weren't boulders. These were size of rocks, maybe the size of a football, pointy rocks, not many nice rounded rocks like you'd find in a river or out west. But we'd travel up there and get up to the top. And it was just a little over a mile up. And like I say, it was not a steep hike like going up to Crabtree Falls. Anyway, I went up there and I saw some hawks and everything that came back down. But I was so thankful that I had my walking stick. It kept me from falling. I did trip a number of times, and I had my good hiking boots on, so I did not twist an ankle. But it was a great experience. And the last part of this vlog that you see is the inside the nature center there at Hawk Mountain Sanctuary, showing some of the history of it. And also I wandered through the gift shop. But it was a great experience, and I guess I can say that I can count that off my bucket list, but really don't have a bucket. If I did, it would have a hole in it. And but I'm so glad I went back to see what it was like 74 years ago when I hiked up there for the very first time. You all need to come and check out Hawk Mountain Sanctuary. Ramblin' Rusty, signing off for now. Check you all later. I am always impressed when I see these old bridges, how they were held together just with wooden pegs. And this has several that you can see. I interrupted what Arlene was talking about, the closed containers that she was making, by asking a question about what she and Dee had done recently. They had taken a class in flour pounding. There is a Japanese name to it. You see it here at the top. And so I asked her about that, and she says, oh, yes. She says, I happen to have something that I had done. I had seen my sister Dee's, which was beautiful. She had put it in a frame already. So Dee went back to the back and brought out an apron and a test strip that Arlene had done. This is a very simple process. If you go to the internet and just look up flower pounding art or something like that, it will give you many different techniques and what you can put it on. They put it on linen that had been washed in alum and borax, and this would help the colors to come through very well. But there are many different activities you can do with this type of art. The Japanese at first just used stones. Now you can use a hammer to get the same technique. So I would suggest that you go online and check out and maybe do this for yourself. There are many different things that you can deal it with. In fact, I would like to do a leaf honor by pounding the leaves instead of pressing them. It is amazing how the color transfers through to the cloth that you're hitting it up on. We next went across the way to the large greenhouse. He said this greenhouse will be the agricultural lab, and also in there it will be minimally heated, and so they will grow things for their salads and the cafeteria during the winter.
Now we're hearing.
Good morning. Ramblin' Rusty here. This morning, I went to Newmarket Community Park, and they had a food giveaway for the community. The Emmanuel's Ground, in cooperation with John Henry, a produce store located in Newmarket, Virginia, they have gone together and they are having a giveaway day of vegetables, fruits, and squash. Yeah, I guess squash is a what? Anyway, and they have a giveaway. And there were many people there helping to keep the food out there for people to come by with their boxes and get free food. This had been done before in Woodstock by Pastor Reed, who has started a church there in Edinburgh, and he has done that a couple times, and so now this is the first time that it was done here in Newmarket. Now, what you will see, I am showing some of the video that I took of people lined up, and you notice back earlier there was even some young people there helping. They had so many different things. They had apples, they had tomatoes galore, they had grapes, they had squash, they had kale, they had sweet potatoes, they had regular potatoes, just about anything you need. And so they come down there, and then there were a lot of young people there to help take the thing. Here you can see some boxes of tomatoes there. And so there were just so many different things that they could get for free. And there were people from all over the area. In fact, what you're going to hear is some conversations of several people. One of the persons is Pastor Reed, head pastor at the Newmarket Church, and he is talking to people. And then another voice you will also hear, sometimes at the same time, is from Philip. Philip Weigel is he and his wife are the one that are running Emmanuel's Ground, which is the sale for Shenandoah Valley Academy of produce. And they use the students there to sell the produce, to grow the produce, and to harvest it. And so it's a real unique situation. One of the things that they're also selling on their sale, which is every Wednesday from 3 to 5, is that homemade bread made by one of the ladies in the area. This bread was made from wheat that they actually grew and harvested there on Emmanuel's Ground. And they also took it, they thrashed it, and it was a very simple way of thrashing it. They had about 20, 25 people, and they had flails, and they had walked on it. Some of them were even doing some Jewish dances in the middle of it to separate the grain from the husks. And then they ground it up, and they sell bread each week from that. And so if you get a chance, there's 2 more times at Emmanuel's Ground, located on the behind the campus of Shenandoah Valley Academy. Come on out and get some produce. They'll only be doing it 2 more weeks. The rest of it are different conversations that you can hear, and some of them are conversations one on top of the other because 2 people had mics. Both Pastor Reed and Philip had a mic, and so you'll hear them talking possibly at the same time. I hope you enjoy this vlog. Upon leaving the Chumash exhibit, next door is an exhibit dealing with the paleontology. So as you look through these sections here, they show different things that were unearthed. Here they have a toothed bird, and there are a lot of other interesting things. They're showing the different rock formations that are in the area that would preserve some of the things. And here you see some toes and foot of some prehistoric animal. I will go ahead and let the video run so you can see some of the different exhibits that were in the area. The next section that we entered was one dealing with paleontology. And there were many interesting things there. They had some fossilized bones of some foot. They showed the different rocks that were there. And it was interesting, they showed the different types of elephants that were found. And in fact, on some of the islands here off of Ventura, they have found some pygmy elephants in there. So here, I'll just let the video roll and show you these.